Hey there, what's going on? I'm A-Dubs and welcome to my channel, Skate Shit. Today we're getting back into the technical aspect of our skates, which brings us to today's topic. Flat versus heel boots. What's the difference? So the way I'm going to format this video is just to speak from my own experience of owning both flat and heel boots, and then I'll highlight the key differences that I've noticed when skating in one versus the other. And then I'll give you a summary of my thoughts for you to take home for your own, for whatever you want to do with that. So when I first started skating, I actually started on heel boots. Probably the majority of us here have started on heel boots, and if you didn't, that's actually pretty cool because I had no idea about flat skates when I first started. So back then I was just starting out, just skating in the parking lots and everything. I didn't really have any specific type of skating that I was doing. It was just all purpose. That's pretty much it. Was just all purpose skating. So eventually I started going to the skate park, and I was still using my Moxie Beach Bunnies at the skate park. Those things are troopers. I love those skates. I cannot lie. I love Moxie Beach Bunnies. But as I started doing a bit more and more and getting a bit more aggressive with it, I started wanting a new pair of park specific skates. So I did a lot of research, blah, blah, blah. And my first park skate were the Kaya Barbie Kismets. I do still have those. I love those to this day. But now I also have my Bont Park Stars. I love these two. So I think the purpose of your skating has a huge effect on what type of boot you might want. And when I say that, I mean like what type of skating are you doing? If you're all purpose or general, it really probably doesn't matter one or the other. But for instance, if you're a derby skater, you're gonna want a flat boot. If you're autistic, you're gonna want a heel boot. But so I say that because a heel boot will give you certain benefits over a flat boot and vice versa, depending on what type of skating you're doing. So there are some key differences that I've noticed in heel versus flat boots. And one of the main ones that I think is super important to know is weight distribution. And when I say weight distribution, that's like referring to how much weight is being dispersed within the front or back of something, just for our purpose of skating. So with the heel boot, you'll see you have 2 points of contact. Your heel and you have your toes. These are the 2 points that are directly, they're like directly pressing down into the skate. So with that, you're having a kind of like an almost even distribution of weight being pressed down into the toes of your feet, into the balls of your feet, and then also in the heel of your foot. So that's why I think there's a lot more balance in this heel boot because your weight is more evenly distributed. So in contrast, however, with the flat boot, this is a good example I'm going to show you. With the flat boot, it's very similar to how we're standing now, where straight down, you see all of my weight goes down into my heel pretty much, and I could just easily raise my toes. So if you're a visual learner, that your weight pressing down into the heel of the boot, that's where the majority of your weight is going to be in a flat boot, with just a little bit in your toes. One thing about that, with the weight being like so primarily in the back, you are way more prone to falling backwards in a flat boot, and it's not fun. Trust me. I can be standing there still, and out of nowhere, I just fall backwards. I'm like, come on, cut me a break. I just don't understand. Then, additionally, what I've noticed, I do get more balance in my heel boots because of that weight distribution. I think I've mentioned that already. And in contrast, however, say for instance you're a speed skater and you want to get speed, you want power, You want that momentum. The flat boot is where it's at. I'm telling you. I think it's because I'm no scientist. Well, I am a computer scientist, but I'm no like scientist. But with the flat boot, I feel like this is my hypothesis. Because your foot is like pretty much flat, you know how runners, they push off from their whole foot, kind of. Maybe they don't, but there's more of that foot to push off from, so you automatically take off, you get more power, you're able to use more of your foot to get to like push down and get more speed. I really feel like I'm getting somewhere with this. But yeah, with the flat boots you do get more power and speed. So for instance, if you're at the skate park and those are things that you prefer, the flat boot might be for you. You're not going to go as fast or get more power from a heeled boot. That's just how it is. You do also get more stability with the flat skate. And when I say stability, I mean like control of your body when you're in motion. So balance is control of your body like when you're not in motion, or this is when you're in motion. Stability. So say for instance, you're trying to do grail rinds or something. A flat boot might be better for you. Now, I am not doing any grail rinds. I want to though. So that's one of my goals for next year, is to be able to grind on the rail. We'll see how that goes. I'm not making any promises. Personally, I do have purposes. I do like to use the heel boot or the flat boot for totally different things. I kind of keep it separate. So with my heel boot, I like to, I use it for the trails. I like to use it at the rink, and I also just use it when I'm still skating around outside, just in general. So 7 times out of 10, I'm gonna be in a heel boot. I just like the way it feels. I like my body posture. It kind of like gives you a natural upright posture where your shoulders are naturally backwards or back, or your chest is upright, and I just feel so graceful. I feel so pretty in my heel boots. Now my flat boots, if I'm in my flat boots, you can tell like I'm probably going to be a bit more aggressive. I'm going to be jumping around. I'm going to be falling more often, just because putting on my flat boots makes me feel like I want to go and wreck shit. Like I want to go do stuff. That's why I like to wear them at the skate park, so that I can like drop into the bowl, or like jump on things, or jump over cones if I want, or just I feel like I can afford to be a bit more reckless in my flat boots. Now I'm not saying that you should go do that. That's not the right thing to do, probably. But that's just the mindset that I get in when I have one versus the other. At the end of the day, I'll say these two things, heel versus flats. It really comes down to the purpose, like what type of skating are you doing, and then preference for yourself. What type of skating, like what do you prefer, honestly? Heel or flat is going to be better for you depending on the type of skating that you're doing. One versus the other will be better, but at the end of the day, it really just depends on what type of skate you prefer, and you just kind of go from there. But I will say, if you ever have the opportunity to use one versus the other, just use both. Not at the same time. I've never done that. That sounds interesting. But at least experience a heel boot and a flat boot, a flat boot at some point. It's very interesting to see the different type of skating. And I mean, at the end of the day, you can use this video as a reference to understand like those differences, but I think it really helps being able to do it yourself to really kind of understand and form like those differences and really feel them in your own body. So that's what I'll say. If you take anything away from this video, purpose of your skate, preference that you prefer, like what you prefer, and yeah, what do I prefer? Either one, honestly. It just depends on my mood. What type of skating do I want to go doing? And what kind of mood am I in? Like, that's all it comes down to. What kind of mood am I in at the end of the day? And what kind of skating do I want to do? So that's how I pretty much decide whether I'm going to use a heeled or a flat boot. But yeah, those are just some key differences that I've noticed. So, what do you prefer? Flat or heel? It's kind of like that debate with flats versus drums. What is it? Drums versus wings? Like, my friends sounded off in the group chat and was like, hey, do y'all prefer flats or wings? And I'm like, okay, I prefer flats. And so it was very split. It was actually split right down the middle. Half preferred wings, the other half preferred flats. And at the end of the day, we were just like, okay, so when we order chicken next time, y'all can have all the wings and we can have all the flats, and we don't have to do all this mix and match mumbo jumbo. So it kind of works out. I don't even know why I said that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I hope to see you all in the next one. In the meantime, I hope you have a great spooky Halloween. I'm gonna watch a bunch of horror movies because that's my favorite genre, so I'm very happy. Although I feel like I've seen like the majority of them at this point. But until then, until the next video, stay safe, drink water, go skate. Bye.